scare. Jump scare. Hello, gamers. Happy Wednesday. Hello, welcome to stream. Hello, hello. How are we doing, gang? What is up? Welcome to Sad Boys O'Clock. Welcome to Sad Boys stream where we draw sad boys. He look happy, this is lie. This is not true, this is sad boy. How's it going, everybody? He's so baby girl, he honestly is. But yes, hi! Hi, friends, gamers, enemies. It is Wednesday, my dudes. It is a Wednesday. It is a Wednesday. And it is draw stream o'clock. It is draw stream o'clock. Today, as it says in the description, and also in this little block of text down there, today's drawing activity will be, we are drawing stickers for next month's mail club. So we have a baby Sage here looking like way too cute. If I'm being honest, like these came out so cute, it's almost like a little criminal. Like I was drawing these and I'm like, oh no, he's so baby. He's so baby. Why did I draw him so baby? Anyway, he turned out really cute. And so did Nico. Look at these two baby boys. Nothing bad will ever happen to them. Look at these two beautiful boys that nothing bad ever happens to. Anyway. The PTSD men are so adorable. They are little babies. They are little baby boys. But yeah, so we will be inking and coloring these today. And then if we have extra time, I might start working on the print, but we'll see. These are fairly low maintenance as far as like how much detail is in the drawings. So I will probably finish these pretty quickly and then we can work on the print as well, which we will definitely not be finishing on stream today. But we are just gonna draw and we are gonna hang out. And we're just gonna have a good time on this lovely Wednesday. This lovely Wednesday. So how is everybody doing this lovely Wednesday? I'm doing okay. I have a very busy week. I spent the entire day Monday thumbnailing the entire rest of chapter 12 because like wow. So the thing is, so Cast Off, my webbed comic, if you are unaware, there's a link in the pinned comment. I usually like to have my scripts done pretty far in advance, but chapter 10, the chapter where the party is split for most of it, and then there's just like shenaniganery and all that. That chapter went through so many rewrites that essentially just straight up murdered my script buffer. And ever since then, I've been flying by the seat of my pants a little bit. Because it's like, I know what's going to happen in these chapters, but the scripts are not finished. And I worry. And so I'm working on chapter 12, but chapter 13, the script is not done yet. And so I wanted to know how much runway I had left before I had to start panicking about the scripts not being done. And the issue with that is I would not be able to know that. I don't break my scripts into comic pages while I'm writing them. Like, I used to, but I kind of stopped doing it. Just because it ended up being kind of inaccurate. It's hard to judge that in advance. And then, like, if I ended up making an adjustment to a chapter script, it would throw the whole thing off. So I kind of stopped breaking them up during the writing process and just started breaking them up, like, during the thumbnail process. But now, because of that, I don't know how long a chapter is going to be until the entire thing has been thumbnailed. And so I had no idea how long chapter 12 was going to be. until I finished all the thumbnails. And so I figured that I was roughly halfway finished. I finished like a bunch of pages for chapter 12 last week because we talked about this a bit. I want to get us back to 2 times a week updates now that the Kickstarter is largely taken care of. Kickstarter, like, all the hard stuff for the Kickstarter is done. So now it's just like I'm waiting on proofs right now. And so right now I'm just literally sitting on my hands. I can't make any more progress until the proofs get in. And so until the proofs get in, I'm just kind of sitting there and I'm like, okay, now would be a good time to get the comic back to our usual 2 time a week updates. But in order to do that, I wanted to have a nice big healthy buffer first. And so the comic is up to I think page 28 is the most recent page that went up on the website. Patrons are a little bit further ahead. Patrons are like page 31 or 32. 32, I think, is the page that just went up for patrons. And I just finished drawing page 47 today. Like 3 hours ago, I finished page 47. So I'm a bit ahead. But I wanted to know like how many more pages I would need to do before the chapter is finished. And so I went ahead and I thumbnailed the entire rest of the chapter. 71 pages, by the way, is how long chapter 11 will end up being. Or chapter 12. A bit, yeah, you know, like 2 months ahead, it's fine. But yeah, so those are up. The spoiler squad has been getting to enjoy those. Mods can confirm, having seen the pages. Shit's going down in the second half of chapter 12. They get it now. Like, mods, don't drop any spoilers, but Sly, I know you're in chat. It's so silly. No, it's okay. There's so much Sly. Sly, there's no pizza. Sly, that was the first half of the chapter. There's no pizza. The only pizza here is the tragedy pizza, and we don't talk about the tragedy pizza. You said no spoilers. Okay, fine. But yeah, so chapter 12, things will be happening. Things will be occurring. Can't be here for long, but hey, look, I made a stream. Hi, Dawn! Look who's actually here! Wow! A rare visit from a celebrity. We were actually just talking about chapter 12 and how I finished storyboarding the entire rest of the chapter earlier this week. And that you guys have seen it. And how super normal it is and not heartbreaking or emotional at all, no. Nothing like that would ever happen in my comic? In my fantasy adventure webbed comic? Emotional? Pfft, no. That would be ridiculous and absurd. Chapter 12 is nice and happy, nothing bad happens. You've heard it from me and I would never lie to you. Exactly. Exactly. We would never, ever lie. That being said, jokes aside, mind the content warnings for the next couple bits of the chapter, gang. Just a fair warning on that. But yeah, we are getting into stuff in late chapter 12 that is stuff I have been sitting on since before the comic even started being posted online. Content warning, pizza, yeah. But yeah, like scenes, conversations, lines of dialogue, panels, just like moments that I have been waiting for actual literal years, are happening towards the end of chapter 12. And I am so excited. Excited but nervous. There is a non-zero amount of nervous mixed in there because, like I said, I've talked about this before. I was nervous about how this chapter is a little bit of a tone shift from how the comic has been. But I think it's going to be, my hope is that you guys will enjoy where it's going. But yeah. Also, star emotions on the level of Frankenstein. I mean, is that a positive or a negative? I haven't read Frankenstein since high school. All I remember is that in the book, the Frankenstein monster is hot. And that, like, does not ever translate to any of the media adaptations, and why not? Why not? Don't be a coward, make the monster hot. I will cry if anything bad happens to Nico. I will not say anything. He is canonically a hot buff genius. He is! No, seriously, in the book, in the Frankenstein book, like the original book, several characters openly talk about how the Frankenstein's monster is hot. Like, this is canonical. That's like the one thing I remember. Necrophilia? No, this is not my opinion. This is stated in the book as fact that the Frankenstein's monster is hot. This is not me being a monster fucker. I'm being serious. Read the book. I'm not kidding. Stated fact, it is. Read the book if you don't believe me. I swear to you this is true. Sure, it is. I am not shitting you, gang. Jared, of course, as always, thank you for the 20 gifted memberships. I appreciate it. Thank you, I appreciate it, sir. Yeah, Jared's here. He's here now. I don't know if he was here before, but he has revealed himself. If you just got gifted a membership, make sure to say thank you and also go check out the members only videos on my channel. There's a handful, and you also get early access to whatever my next video is gonna be, which I have not quite decided on yet. I've narrowed it down to 2, and we're just gonna see which one is grabs me in the scripting phase. We're just gonna see which one. I'm just gonna try and sit down and write both, and we're gonna see what happens. He's hot in a way that's uncanny, was how I understand it, like unnaturally symmetrical and pretty. I haven't gotten around to actually reading it yet. Yeah, I haven't read it since my freshman year of high school, which was almost 2 decades ago, but, you know. AI summary said Jared wrote Frankenstein. We can't disprove that. I'm sure the estate of Mary Shelley would have no complaints about that whatsoever. He's got magic fear eyes, but he's stated to be hot. Okay, is the Frankenstein monster just hot Vector? Is that what I'm hearing? Should Vector and Frankie just swap names? Is that what I'm hearing? Is that gonna be the topic of the stream today? Oh no. Oh no, he's straight up just hot buff Vector. Wait, who was it that drew hot buff Vector? Was that, oh, who drew that originally? That was a Yui drawing, Yui on my Discord, right? That they were the one who drew hot buff Vector a long time ago. Oh no, the true version. Hot buff Vector, he's real. And he's in this book written in the 1800s. That was Yuri, but a few people have since. Yeah, I just remember who drew the original. Oh my goodness. Listen, we canonically have a little bit of a magic mad scientist in the comic. I'm drawing him right now. And Vector's kind of like his weird little Frankenstein monster son. If you read it very, very loosely. Very, very loosely, if we read into it, then that is a conclusion that one might be able to draw. I'm so sorry to anyone who is here who has not read my webcomic, who is probably so confused right now. Go read my webcomic, castoff-comic.com. There's a link in the pinned comment. Anyway. We know the next October drawing theme now. Well, actually, that is a wonderful segue to another thing that I should talk about on this stream. Because I had a thought, and patrons already know what this is because I've already talked to patrons about it, but I have not announced it publicly yet. And I was planning to in the next couple of days. Oh, if you guys enjoy potentially character design, outfit design specifically, I may be in the process of hashing out the details for a costume design contest for this month's Halloween Mail Club, wherein you guys will basically be able to design Halloween costumes, Halloween outfits for the gang, and the winners the winning designs will be drawn by me onto the cast for October's Mail Club. So the designs will be, so basically you'll submit an outfit design and then I will draw the outfits as both stickers and the print for October. The winners will also get a free copy of that month's Mail Club and a sketch by me, like a marker sketch. So I have not released the details publicly for that, but those will be going out in the next couple of days because you guys will basically, I want to give people time. And so basically the contest will run through the month of August, and then September will be when I choose the winners and then actually do the art for it. And then the Mail Club will go out at the beginning of October. So, that's kind of my unofficial announcement, but I've been talking to patrons about it for a couple weeks, so they know, and that is going to be a thing that happens here in the very near future. So go ahead and y'all can, if y'all think you're interested in that, you can go ahead and start brainstorming ideas, and then the details will be released here in the next couple of days. So yeah, look forward to that. I'm hoping, what my goal is that if this contest goes well, I would like to do this as like a semi-annual thing, like maybe not every 6 months, I think that's maybe a little too frequent, but like maybe, you know, occasionally, this will be a thing that I will go out to the community and say, hey, we're gonna do another costume contest. The theme for this time is blank. And, you know, like see if people want to come up with ideas. And I thought it would be a fun way to get the community involved. And just, you know, feel like they have an impact. And these outfits will not be canonical in the universe. Like, these are not gonna be in the comic. They will be in the Mail Club, though, which is fun. So, yeah. Mothman costume, hot bunny costume, oh lord. Do you want the characters in the drawings, or can I add a little base with fits and just add character names? I will accept bases, that kind of thing. You don't have to like draw the characters super on model or anything. I just need to be able to see the outfits mostly. I'm thinking I should probably do some kind of a template, but also I shouldn't be lazy. I should just like make a base or something. Mods, yell at me to make a base after the stream, because I need to do that. It won't take me that long, Star. Just sit down and make a base. It'll help keep everything orderly. But yeah. Can we do more than one character? Yes, you guys are actively encouraged to design multiple. Like, you can submit, the rules as written right now are you can design outfits for as many or as few characters you want. If you only do like 1 or 2 designs and yours end up winning, it might be combined with another person's. Because, you know, so the idea is like, I'll probably do 1 to 2 characters per sticker. And then up to 3 or 4 characters for the print, just kind of depending on the outfits that get submitted. Where can we submit our stuff for this? This has not officially been announced yet. This is just me kind of talking about it. That is in the works. There will be a Google form that you guys can submit to. So it is not officially open. This is just kind of, you know, I'm telling you guys now so that you can think about it. Just, you know, let it percolate in your brain. Start thinking of ideas if you think you might want to participate. But yeah, the contest is not officially open for entries just yet. I'm still finalizing the document that has all the rules and stuff in it, and I should, you know, go back and actually make a base. I think that would make things a lot easier. Is there a preference or rule about costumes based on other media like games or shows? Yes, don't. Yeah, so just to avoid any weird copyright stuff, we're gonna say, hey, costumes have to be your own original creation. Like, they can be based on, say, like, fairy tale stuff that's in the public domain, but they can't be based on, like, Pokémon or something like that. So it's like, it's gotta be either original designs or something that is based in the public domain. So like, you could make Vector cosplay Stupid Sexy Frankenstein, and that would technically be okay. But you cannot make Vector cosplay, I don't know, character from film, etc. Yeah, no Rory is Sonic. We don't want it, no copyrighted characters. The inspiration from this kind of came from, like, I know Love Live, for the mobile game, they did costume design contest for the cast, and they basically let people submit outfit designs based on a theme, and I always thought that those are really fun. Those they, like, let people vote to decide the winners, but because I am just the one me, I'm just gonna be, like, star picks. Maybe in the future, once I've, like, done a few, and I'm kind of used to the process, then in the future we can do ones that are audience vote. But can we have a bit more modern-like costume? Yeah, like the costume design. So the theme is Halloween. That is the theme because it's happening for October this year. You can choose to interpret the theme however you wish, but if it does not kind of match the theme, it will not be considered. Ones that match the theme are more likely to win. Because, you know, there's a theme there for a reason, right? And so, yeah, main rules are you can design for as many or as few characters as you want. You are definitely allowed to, like, design them in sets. This has become your Snow Miku contest. Yeah, that is also an inspiration, was the Snow Miku. How people will, you know, like, submit designs for Snow Miku every year. This is my Snow Miku. Except not really, because I have many characters. That is actually a theme I want to do for the future, is like design cute little winter outfits for the gang. Can we base it off OCs and custom monsters? I suppose. But we also have to, like, if it's based on, like, an actual OC, I'm less likely to pick it as a winner because, like, I want it to be accessible for the whole audience, right? So the theme is just Halloween costumes. Basically, where to put the designs. I will announce that when it is officially announced. Like I said, this is not an official announcement. This is just me talking about it because we are streaming. More details will come out over the next couple of days once I am done ironing all the rules out. So. Can we do multiple submissions? Yes. Again, guys, all of these questions will be answered when the final rules come out. So if you don't get an answer right now, you will get an answer when the rules are officially announced, so don't panic. But yeah, so just, if that is something that you guys are potentially interested in, you have a few days to brainstorm before the final rule set is announced, because I have to finish writing all the rules down. Actually, I should go ahead and do that soon, because then I can announce it with Friday's comic update. That's the thing. That's the thing I could do. But yeah, so basically this is like the type of thing where I kind of want to do it as a semi-regular thing. Just have like themed costume contests every now and then. And these will not be contests that get used in the actual comic, it's just for like bonus art. Because I think that's fun, and I know that there's a lot of artists in my fan base because of I do all the YouTube stuff. And I want folks to have the opportunity, and I think that would be super duper cool. Yeah, it'll mostly be announced, like, I'm gonna announce it on the comics webpage, the various platforms, etc. Yeah, it'll get it out. I'm gonna post it pretty much everywhere. You guys will see it. There will be no escaping it. Yeah, so that is something that I've been working on just kind of in the background for the last couple days. That will be announced more officially sometime soon. But until then, you guys have some time to percolate. So that's been what's going on. That's an exciting thing. There was another thing that I wanted to mention. I don't remember what it was now. Beans. I forgot. Frankie just wants everyone to read Cast Off. Yeah. He's a good boy. He's marketing. Oh, that's another thing. Thank you guys for enjoying the heck out of my most recent video that I just put out last week. Because my goodness, that one's performing well. Like, it has surpassed expectations, honestly. It was, so a little bit of background. The Hasman Hotel video that I put out a few months ago, that was my #1 video for, so when you're on YouTube, if you didn't know this, YouTube likes to rank your videos, like your top 10 most recent videos, YouTube will rank them as basically like, how does your most recent video stand up when compared to your top 10 other videos. So it will like take the performance of a video. So like say you just released a video 3 hours ago, YouTube will on your homepage give you a little thing that says, okay, it's been 3 hours since you posted your most recent video. How does it stack up against the last 10 videos you've uploaded in the first, and how they performed in their first 3 hours? And it's like a live update thing, so like you can watch it, you know, rise or fall through the rankings, or just stay put depending on how your other videos have performed. And for a lot of people, it causes a lot of anxiety because you can see a video and you think it's gonna be awesome, but then it's rated 10 out of 10 of your most recent videos, which means of your last 10 videos, it's performing the worst, and you're just like, oh man, oh man. Or you can see that it is like rated number 1 or number 2 of your most recent videos, which means it's performing a lot better by comparison. And that gives you the serotonin, right? Well, my Has-Been Hotel video was performing, that was my number 1 video since it was posted. Like, that one performed extremely well, and it started doing well extremely quickly, which I kind of expected because, I mean, it is kind of riding the fame of Has-Been Hotel, which is a very popular series. And so I kind of figured that that one was gonna do well, even if it was just like from people clicking on it out of curiosity's sake. So I was wondering, it's like, is anything I upload ever gonna be able to beat the Has-Been Hotel video? Because that one performed so well, and it had the bonus of, you know, being fan work, technically, for a very popular series that I then put in the thumbnail as like kind of clickbait, but also not clickbait because it was actually talking about the series. I wasn't sure if anything I uploaded was gonna beat it, but when I uploaded the character writing video, it was right on its tail. Right on its tail. For a while, and it kept gaining on it. So like when the character writing video, when I first posted it, it was trending at number 2, and the Has-Been Hotel video was number 1. And for the first like 8 or so hours, it was like gaining steadily. It was just like it was catching up real fast. And so I started posting on like social media. I was like, hey, you guys should go watch my most recent video so that it will destroy my Has-Been Hotel video and make me feel a slight confidence boost. And then it did, about like later that evening, it did overtake it. And now it's like, based on the amount of time it's been up, the character writing video has like 10K more views than the Has-Been video did. And I'm just over here in my corner, just going, yes! Just like both fists in the air, screaming like, yeah! I'm a better writer, let's go! That's so mean, but you get the idea. I was so pumped. I was like, yes, the ego boost this is giving me. Yes! This is so good for my ego. Huzzah! It's very funny. But yeah, so that video has been performing exceptionally well, and I'm very, very excited about it. So thank you to everybody who has watched it and enjoyed it. I hope you guys enjoy the new Blorbos that people keep asking for a continuation of. I've gotten a lot of comments from people being like, this needs to be a webcomic, or I need more videos talking about these characters, and I'm just like, I basically only made these guys for this video, and I never planned on doing anything with them. But now people are demanding it, and I'm like, maybe I could find something for them to do, perhaps? Or like, you know, use them as a base when I talk about a story crafting video. So yeah, that's a thing. That's a fun. But yeah, so a lot of people, I said at the end of that video, I asked people, hey, now that I'm done with like the character writing video, would it be of interest to you guys if I also did a video where I talk about, okay, you have characters, now how do you make a story with them? And I have gotten so many comments. Oh, many comments from people being like, yes, 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 make a story writing video, make a plot video. And so that is definitely happening in the somewhat near future. It's not gonna be my very next video, because my very next video will have a sponsor. I've already got a sponsor lined up for it, and the sponsor wants it in the first half of the month. And that's a very quick turnaround. So I will be holding off on the plot video until September at the earliest. But we shall see. Basically, when I do the story writing video, it's gonna be a big topic, and I want to give it its, like, you know, due diligence. I want to do a good job with it. I don't want to rush it. And the character writing video is my most intensive edit that I've ever done. And so a plot writing video would be honestly probably an even bigger undertaking, so I don't want to rush it. You guys get the idea. So that will come out eventually. People are screaming enough for it that it will come out eventually. Hopefully sooner rather than later. But it just kind of depends on my sponsorship schedule for the next couple videos. The sponsor, it's not Raid Shadow Legends. It is not. I think I've actually already said who the sponsor is in a previous stream. But yeah, it's Skillshare again. Skillshare likes me. Skillshare Senpai likes me, and so they wanted to sponsor another video. And so I think my next video is probably going to be something educational, but it will not be the plot writing video because that one's gonna take too long. So I will do something else for my next one, and we'll figure it out from there. Couple of ideas. Potential idea A is like an art and story writing pet peeve video where I just talk about things that annoy me in media and how to avoid it. Some of them are silly. For example, why don't people draw noses on their characters? Draw noses on your characters? Like, that's a big pet peeve of mine. I get very annoyed when like people don't draw noses on their characters because noses are cute. Noses are cute. And so just some styles, especially like in anime, just completely leave the nose off. There's just no fucking nose. And I'm like, nose! Give character nose. So proud of you for remembering the glasses. I was gonna do the glasses, okay? I was gonna do it. Noses are hard to draw. Learn! Everything is hard to draw. That hasn't stopped you before. Huh? But yeah, another pet peeve I have is characters with animal ears and also human ears. Why do they have two? They do not need 4 ears. Why human and cat ears? Why is this a thing? Why is this a thing? Two sets of ears for super hearing? No. No, no, no. Stop. Idea for a Star video. ASMR of Star yelling at you to draw things that are difficult. Holy shit, I could though. It would not be ASMR. It would literally be me yelling. But like, Ruby did this. It's like so many of the characters have, you know, like animal ears and then they also have human ears. One of those needs to go away. Pick one. And then like I see it on so many VTubers too. Like, oh, okay, this is a targeted example. But the new HoloLive wave of girls that just came out, I love Raura's design so much. She's so cute, and like, not to go behind the curtain too much, but like I watched her indie stuff as well, and so I was excited when I saw that she was in it. I'm like, oh, her design is so cute, and I know this person. And then I noticed that she has the double ears. She has human ears and cat ears! And I'm like, why? You just made more work! You just draw the cat ears, and why does she also need human ears? At that point, you're just making more work for the person who made the VTuber model. Just take the ears off! You don't need those! Ah! So that's another one. Third one is, oh my gosh, you guys, I'm gonna get petty for half a second. Will you guys allow me to be petty for half a second? I have not gotten too many comments about this. I haven't gotten too many. And the ones that I have gotten are pretty obvious from like people who are biased in favor of the fandom because they have likely, like definitely been in the fandom for a long time. But when I made my Hazbin Hotel video, one of the very first things I commented on was saying, hey, if you are making a story and you expect your audience to understand what is going on in that story, you have to explain the concepts and world building of the story, like critical parts of your world and your characters, and critical, if it is critical information to understanding the plot, that information needs to be in the actual piece of media, as opposed to like external information, right? I was trying to explain this concept to my mom earlier today, but like, that was one of the first points I made in my Hazbin Hotel video, that like, hey, if there is critical information to understand your plot, that information needs to be in the final product, in the actual show. If I need to understand a concept for it to be in, like for me to understand the show, it needs to be in the show. And Hazbin Hotel is very bad about that because I feel like the show, a few people made this point in my comments and I agree with them. Hazbin Hotel feels like a show that was made for a fandom that already exists. And a lot of anime does this too, where they expect the viewer to have like, you know, played the mobile game or read the manga already and whatever. This is very common with anime based on games. I've noticed it happens with idol anime a lot, where it's like, the plot line will not be great. A lot of stuff is just not explained well because the people who are making the anime expect people to have already played the game. And Hell of a Boss seems similar in that like this fandom has existed for a very long time. And so a lot of very critical information is left out of the anime because theoretically the fandom who has already been engaged with the story for so long has gotten all this extra information from outside pieces of media, and then they just don't explain it in the anime at all. And I don't care what the reason for it is. I don't care. It's annoying as hell because I want to be able to sit down and watch a show and understand what is happening in the show. I don't want to have to do homework. I don't want to have to go reading old live stream or old tweets and like watching old live streams to get critical information about the story you're trying to tell me. If it's important, put it in the show. And I got, not a lot, but I got a couple comments that they don't need to put critical information in the show because that information has already been revealed in tweets and old live streams and old development art from the creator. So they don't need to answer these critical, plot important pieces of information in the show. Do you understand how infuriating you sound? Ah! Oh my god, it's so frustrating. It's just like the amount of people who like, because I went into that Hazbin Hotel video thinking I am not going to engage even a little bit with any outside sources of media because I want to see how well this show stands on its own two legs. And the answer is not well. The answer is it doesn't very well. Like some things work, but a lot doesn't. And so I got a lot of, I went into the video explaining that. It's like, hey, I'm coming at this from the perspective of a new person who is just finding the show and has not engaged with the media at all before this. And the show is confusing because they leave out a lot of really important information. And I have gotten comments from people saying, well, you know, if you did the extra research and read the tweets and watched the live streams from 5 years ago, you'd understand what was going on in the show. And so that's on you for not doing the extra research. And I was just like, You're stupid, get out of my sight. And then I shot them with lasers from space. So that would be another feature, another thing in the, that would be another pet peeve that goes into the pet peeve video, is make sure your fucking show makes sense to people who have not been engaged with your fandom for 5+ years. Can you guys imagine if Cast-Off is maybe a bad example because there's a lot of stuff that I don't explain in Cast-Off because it doesn't matter. But okay, you know what a good example of this kind of concept is? I'm not gonna toot my own horn on this because my thing is like, I reveal stuff in the comic if it is critical to understanding. But if there's stuff where it's like, you can kind of figure it out, or if it's not like super duper important, then a lot of that stuff I'll just kind of like leave to external media, where it's just like, yeah, the character's favorite foods are not that important. Their birthdays are not that important. Their favorite colors are not that important. So I don't spend time on that in the narrative. I focus the amount, and like there is more world building to the story that doesn't make it into the final comic because it doesn't affect the narrative. It's one of those things where it's like, if it's important to the narrative, I will put it in there. But otherwise, it's just kind of background detail, and I don't put it in the story unless it matters. That world building still exists, and that's the kind of stuff that's, you know, gonna make it into the, like the bonus pages at the back of the physical books when they come out. Another series that it was pointed out to me recently also did this very well is Dungeon Meshi actually does a fantastic job about this. Where it's like, you can tell that this is a very rich, very like developed world, but the writer focuses purely on the stuff that matters to tell the story. And it still makes sense. It's like, you don't need to know every single thing about every single character or every single city. You don't need to know all these itty bitty nitty gritty details to understand the story and enjoy it, because the story is focused on the main characters. Right? The artist and writer then goes into the extra stuff in, you know, like side comics, or like, I think there's like a book that she did that's just like all the side material. But the point is that like the critical information that you need to know to understand the story makes it into the actual comic. And it does not get bogged down with all this extra detail that's not important. The important stuff that you need is in the story, but the stuff that isn't gets left out. This is what I'm trying to do with Cast-Off. Like, if it's non-critical information, it does not make it into the story terribly often unless I have a good like spot where it's just like, you know, a little bit of background detail. A little bit of fun stuff I'll throw in there if I can find a spot for it in the script. And it infuriates me when it's reversed, where it's like, you get all this unimportant information, but then info that you need to understand the story is left out. That's the kind of stuff that drives me crazy. And so many pieces of media are so bad at it. It's like Hazbin Hotel, I think, is a good example. It's like they leave out critical plot and character important information. Just they don't bring it up in the story, and then it's confusing. And when you try to tell the fan base, hey, this thing is confusing to new people, their response is to tell you, go read 5-year-old tweets and watch old live streams to get this critically important character and world building lore. And I'm just like, no, that's stupid, and I'm not going to do that. If it's important, put it in the freaking show. Drops the mic. And so that would be a topic in the pet peeve video. What are your thoughts on murder drones? I don't have any, I haven't watched it. People keep asking me this. I don't know what that is. I have not seen it. It's not really on my radar. The only reason it's on my radar even a little bit right now is because people keep asking me what I think about it, and the answer is I don't. but I don't know. My hesitation with murder drones is because people whenever I bring up this specific point, people tell me, oh, you probably won't like murder drones then, which makes me think it's like, so I shouldn't watch it? I watched the first episode of The Amazing Digital Circus. I think I'm not the target demographic. I didn't get super into it. I thought it was okay. Like, it wasn't bad. I'm not as crazy for it as everybody else on the internet seems to be, and that's fine. Not everybody's gonna enjoy every single thing, and I think this is an example of a thing that is not bad, but maybe just not my cup of tea. Have you played Undertale and/or Deltarune? I played Undertale. I enjoyed it. I played Chapter 1 of Deltarune and have not played any more of it. I'm kind of waiting for it to be a full experience, I think. I read your How to Webcomic book. Thanks so much for writing it. I found it so insightful. Oh, thank you. I'm glad that it helped.
Hey, why did you stop doing the British accent?
Blue the Diglett, thank you for joining the membership for 2 months. What British accent? I do not have a British accent, no matter what people in my comments try to tell me. I am not the American version of Rin Penrose, no matter what my comments will try to tell you. Or my moderators who continue to tease me about that. Why would a Texan have a British accent? Good question, glad you asked. I don't know. I can do a bad British accent. It's not good. I'm not especially great at doing accents in general. The one I have is the one I got. I do not tease, ma'am. Don't lump me in with those heathens. You say this right after Dawn drops the yeehaw Rin Penrose line. No! Stop it! I'm not British! God damn it! I don't know why people think that it's not okay, because I feel like I need to be clear on this. I am not offended when people compare me to Rin Penrose. It's not offensive, I just don't get it. I don't get it. It's like we do not sound that similar, but I've gotten like so many comments saying that. I'm just like, guys, your ears are broken. Your ears are broken, I think. I don't get it. You give off the same vibe. See, that's more acceptable. Having similar vibes is fine, and I get that. Sounding alike, like actual voice similarity, I do not hear at all, and I do not understand when people say these things to me. Image of anime girl crying and screaming, I'm not British. Yeah, it's like that. What's that Miku TikTok audio? Are you British? Oh no, no. Hatsune Miku does not talk to British people. You guys ever heard that? You guys ever heard that bit? I fucking love that audio. It's so funny. Oh no. It's just like the little Miku voice and just the way she says it with like the little synthesized voice. It's very cute. It's very funny. No. Hatsune Miku does not talk to British people. It's very fun. Yeah, okay. People get it. People know what I'm talking about. Good. You guys have taste. But yeah, like even friends that I've known for a very long time have, so I will tell you guys a story. I think maybe I've told this on stream, I don't remember. I have my beloved friend Athena, lovely human, love her to death. I've known her for a very large chunk of my life. She, dear friend that I have known since my freshman year of college, which again has been like well over 10 years at this point. We talk fairly regularly, is a delightful human being. We can't be friends anymore because a couple weeks ago, she sends me a message and she's like, hey, don't be mad. And I was like, I would never be mad at you, my love, because that's just how I talk to my friends. My friends are my beloved. And she tells me is like, well, So I was watching an RT Gaming video recently, and I, for a second, could have sworn that I heard your voice. But it turns out he was doing a collaboration with that British VTuber that everyone says you sound like, and I legitimately thought it was you for a couple seconds. And I was like, no! You can't do this to me, not you too! Not you too! And I was like, friendship revoked! How could you do this to me? How dare, betrayal! Yes, it was! A betrayal! It's like, we do not sound that similar. What are you talking about? And she's like, once I actually focused on it, it was very clear it was not you, but it had me for a second. And I was like, oh my God. Oh my God. Friendship over. Top 10 anime betrayals. Yeah. It's funny because we're both anime characters. Yippee. Autism creature voice. Yippee. Anyway, but yeah, when this first started happening, I also told my beloved friend Sarah, who is Athena's wife, about this. I'm like, Sarah, you're an unaffiliated third party. Listen to this other VTuber and tell me if we sound similar. And I played like not even 5 seconds of like one of Rin's shorts, and then Sarah was like, oh yeah, you guys do sound really similar. And I was like, no! No, we don't! Why does everyone say that? I'm still, to this day, so confused. So confused. Befuddled, even. Befuddled. Double betrayal. Yeah, both sides of this relationship have both betrayed me. I cannot believe I have to disown 2 of my nearest and dearest friends because they told me that I sound like a British VTuber. They were joking. I can't remember who said this. This might have been a J line. But someone was telling me that she and I should collab. And then I try and do a bad British accent the entire time. And then she tries to do a English, or not English, English is a British accent. What am I doing? She should do an American accent the entire time, and we should see how many people we can confuse. Also, Habib, thank you for the 10 gifted memberships. I appreciate it. Thank you, thank you. If you just got gifted a membership, make sure to say thank you, and then go watch my members exclusive videos. Wow, 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 wow. It's not the voice, but the cadence that sounds familiar. I mean, like, that I could understand, right? That I could understand, but like people are saying very specifically that our voices sound familiar, like sound similar. And I'm just like, we don't though. There's like a difference between people sounding similar and people having kind of like the same cadences to their voice, right? It's like you talk similar, but your voices don't sound similar. Like that I think makes sense. But I don't know, it's weird. Like, I can admit when I sound like somebody, and this is not one of those cases, I feel, which is where the confusion comes from. Like, a lot of people tell me that I sound like Let Me Explain Studios, and that one I do understand, that one I can hear. And that one's also funny, because she and I have almost identical, like, life stories in a few aspects. And that's very funny. We were nerding about that in the mod chat a couple weeks ago. Yeah, both from Texas, so that makes sense. But like the Rin Penrose thing, it's like, I get it if we talk similarly, but I don't think our voices actually sound that similar. But a lot of people seem to. I also get a lot of comments. I just got one, just today, I got a comment from somebody saying that I sound like Jaden Animations. And that one I can like, maybe, sort of, kind of hear if I'm like really not listening closely. But that one I think is a stretch. That one I think is a bit of a stretch. So I don't know about that one, gang. Ugh. similar cadence to Jaden, but no, you don't sound like her. I do think you sound like Red OSP though. Yeah, see, I haven't watched many of their videos, but like the clips that I've seen, I do kind of get that one. Like that one I can kind of understand. Let me explain studios and what does OSP stand for? I forgot. Like those two I can kind of get. Jade Animations, Rin Penrose, I don't get so much. You actually helped me get 100 in English class because I've learned my English mostly through YouTube videos I listen to. Oh, that's so cool! Oh, congratulations on getting a good score in English. Glad I could help even a little bit. Do you remember when someone literally accused you of being Jaden because you were Ace? I don't, from what I remember, they didn't accuse me of being Jaden, but I might be you might be remembering this differently than me. I did have people accuse me of stealing from Rin though, actually. That was a thing that happened. I actually got a couple of accusations of people saying that like I was dubbing over, or not dubbing over, that like I had stolen the audio from a Rin Penrose short and was using it without credit. I got a couple of accusations of that on one of my shorts actually. Because one of the, so Rin used to make all those shorts, right? I also occasionally make shorts, just because you know they're short and easy. Short. But so at some point, Rin Penrose, fellow YouTuber, fellow VTuber, made a video about VTuber face reveals. And then I also, at some point, made a video about like doing VTuber face reveals. And that video performed extremely well. But I got a couple of comments saying, hey, isn't this Rin's audio? Or it's just like, you stole this audio from Rin Penrose. And I'm like, first of all, no, I didn't. Second of all, yes, while these videos are on the same topic, the scripts are entirely different. Completely separate scripts. Thirdly, I'm not British! So yeah, like, it got bad enough that I had people accusing me of theft because people thought that our voices sounded that similar, which is wild. So that was fun. But yeah, I've gotten that for other YouTubers as well. I had someone accuse me of stealing, I can't remember their name because I had never heard of them before this, but I had someone be like, this sounds really similar to a so-and-so video, ... girl, as in like, girl, you're stealing and I can prove it type of like, the way they were typing it was kind of implying that. And, oh yeah, why did Spotify get so loud all of a sudden? Hello? Sorry about that, gang. At that point, you just gotta accept that you sound like Rin. I don't, though. I don't, though, is the thing. I will not accept it because it is not true. I will die on this very small hill. Well, maybe I won't die on it. It's kind of a sad hill to die on. I'll just lay on it for a couple hours. Next drawing and storytime idea, your VTuber cosplaying Rin Penrose. Oh my god. See, here's the thing is I actually like do unironically really like her design. But yeah, you're in denial. I am not. Am I in denial if what I'm denying is false? If people were coming to me and accusing me of being a famous basketball player, would me be telling them, no, I'm not a famous basketball player, be me in denial? No, just because I deny things does not mean that I am in denial. It just means that it is not true. I mean, technically, no, that's not what denial is. I'm not a famous basketball player. Can't believe stars Michael B. Jordan. That he's an actor. Michael Jordan, without the B. is the basketball player. Michael B. Jordan is an actor. Is different. Technically, you denied it. That is different from being in denial, though. Because being in denial of something means that it is true, and I refuse to accept it. Denying something just means that something is not true, and I'm saying that it's not true because it's not true. Denial is a river in Egypt. Exactly. That much we can agree on. That is true. Maybe Star is secretly a famous basketball player. Joke's on you, punks. I do not have the coordination for sports. I sit inside and draw anime girls all day. You think I play sports, you fool. You imbecile. You think I have the physical stamina for sports? I used to. When I was in high school, I had a freaking six-pack. Not anymore. I am past my physical prime. My six-pack is now just soft stomach area that is constantly like a little bit wrinkled because I shrimp all day. I shrimp into my position. You guys are making me scream so much. I'm thirsty. Now it's a six-pack of Hawaiian rolls. Yeah, the Hawaiian rolls are really tasty. Really tasty, and I like bread. I like bread. Okay? Leave me alone. If you were British, I'd get it, but I have to admit you guys sound a little similar, but not very much. You and Ren Penrose sound very different. Thank you. See, thank you. Again, I feel like I constantly need to state this. I'm not offended by the comparison, merely confused and bewildered. Stars in denial. We're not starting this again. I refuse. I refuse to engage in this. I refuse. It's a no from me. No. Now, granted, do I have some D&D characters that I do a British accent for? Yeah. Is it good? Nah. No. I taught myself how to do a bad British accent specifically for like one character. Because I was like, I need to broaden the range of accents that I can do. Because usually if I want a character to have an accent, I default to like vaguely Russian. That's like my one accent that I can do somewhat consistently. Vague Russian or Southern. And like all the NPCs that I play in my home game where I DM, like basically all of them are either vaguely Russian or Southern. If I try to do anything else, it will eventually turn into one of those two. Do it? Okay. So the vaguely Russian accent sounds a little bit like this. I do this for a lot of characters, and it's very funny, because basically whenever I give a character this accent, my players automatically assume that that character is hot. Because apparently whenever I do this accent, it's shorthand for this character is very attractive and one of my players is going to want to bone them, right? This is the accent I use for Kato, who is a hot bird man. This is the accent I use for Dondovan, who is a hot dragon man. This is the voice. Like, I don't think it's anything necessarily specific. Like, it's just kind of, you know, vaguely Eastern European, like, kind of sort of Russian, but not really. But yeah, so that's my bad Russian accent that I do for hot characters, and also one character who is a very old grandma. So her grandson sounds like this. He's, you know, he's got a deeper voice. He's very calm. He has like the hot man accent. But then I also do this voice with, her name is Granny Cece. She's very old and we don't know how she's not dead yet, but, you know, she's also fun and she sounds more like this. She's got that, like, Eastern European kind of Russian accent, but with a lot of pizzazz on it. You just gotta do it a little crazy, and that's what she sounds like. Didn't you know all Russians are hot? I don't know enough Russians to confirm or dispute that. But that can be a hypothesis that we operate under. And then my bad British accent I use for exactly one character. His name is Silas. He is an elf man with a stick up his ass, and I love him so very much because he is the gay husband of a man who is a dragon and has been disguised as a human for a very long time, and he's basically he loves his himbo husband very much. It's the himbo husband who is secretly a dragon, and his cleric who is also his husband with a bad British accent and a stick up his butt. And that's Silas. Silas and Johan are their names, and I love them. They're the gay dragon lords. I love them so much. Gosh, I was just doing the Russian accent and now I have to like work my way into doing the bad British accent or else they're gonna get confused in my brain. How the fuck do you do? I forgot how to do a British accent. I require gay dragon lord art. I think I have art of them actually. I have like a couple, they're old sketches, but I do have art of them in here somewhere. I've never done like any finished pieces of them, but I do have at least one drawing of the two of them. Where? Yes! Behold, the gay lords of Havenloft. That's Silas. He's the one with the stick up his butt. And then that's Johan, his big himbo husband, who is secretly a gold dragon, but he disguises himself because he likes to hang out. That's literally the reason. It's literally the reason. He just likes to hang out. And so he's just a fucking guy. And they're married. And I love them. D&D Bert and Ernie? Yeah, if Ernie was like a surfer bro who always has his titties out a little bit. You're telling me that guy's a gold dragon? Yeah! Listen, one of my legitimately, actually, one of my favorite tropes is dragons in disguise. Like, just dragons in general, sick as hell. Yes, excellent. Dragons who are disguising themselves as people to blend in with the population and they're secretly dragons and they will just never tell anybody about it. Chef's freaking kiss! Chef's kiss! I love it so much. Beautiful trope. Mwah! Chef's kiss. Give us a drawing of them kissing, please. Maybe later. Back to my other sad boys. Back to my other boys. But yeah, so Johan just talks like a surfer bro. A little bit. Like a little bit surfer bro. Silas is the one that I learned how to do. I taught myself how to do a bad British accent specifically for Silas. And I keep forgetting how to do it. You need to read Woven, very good webcomic about secret dragons. Ooh, I do love a secret dragon. So you liked American Dragon then? I thought it was all right. I remember watching that show as a kid. I don't think I would enjoy it now because my tastes have refined. But yeah. You know, I'm old now. I'm not in the target demographic for that show, but I do remember watching it and liking it. But yeah, I worked my way into doing the bad British accent, or the bad Russian accent, and now that one's like in the recent memory banks, I feel like I have to work my way back into doing the bad British accent if you guys want to hear what that sounds like. It's not good. I call it very specifically a bad British accent because it is bad. But let me see if I can try and do it. It's like, talks a little bit like this. No, that's already slipping into it. That's already slipping into the bad Russian. Oh gosh. It's like, hello, I'm Silas. I am just a fucking little guy. God, the more I do it, the worse it gets. Do you guys really want this? This is so bad. I'm not good at accents, you guys. I do my very best, but my players, they know I'm not good at accents. I try my very best, but I am not good. Barely sounds British. That's why I very specifically say that it is a bad British accent. Because I can't do British to save my fucking life, mate. Oh boy. Bad English accent or somewhat decent Australian accent. See, I can't do Australian either. Australian, anytime I try to do Australian, it just sounds like British but with a bunch of pizzazz on it, and then it eventually just turns into Southern. And it's... We don't talk about it, okay? We don't talk about... Listen, okay, here, look. If you guys want to hear just a gratuitous amount of my bad British accent, go watch my old Great Ace Attorney playthrough. That's like 70 hours of me doing bad British accents, okay? Okay, if that's what you guys want, go watch that. And when Star tries to do Boston accent and turns into bad Australian, see, this is why I can do one accent, and it's called clusterfuck. And it's just, try Australian, please. No, you guys just want me to do it because you're gonna make fun of me. You guys just want me to do it because you're gonna make fun of me. You guys just want to make fun of me. And I will not give in to this baiting. So mean. I still absolutely love your Van Zeek's voice. Yeah, how did I do it? He was like Transylvanian, kind of. It's like, yes, the defendant is a fucking imbecile. And I am literally drinking blood out of this fucking glass because my name is Von Zoinks and everything is terrible. We'd never. Yes, you would. Don't lie to me, so bald-faced lie to me. I'm very Irish/Scottish, but would probably upset anyone who actually was, so I feel you. See, my thing is, like, I'm like, I don't know the exact percentages, but I know that my family is mostly German, and I also have a significant amount of Irish in there, and I can't do either of those accents. What about a Spanish/Mexican accent? Like, for me, I grew up in Texas, and it feels like the Spanish/Mexican accent is just kind of like, it's more of a way of speaking than an accent, which I know does not make sense. I'm trying to think of how I would even do that, but it's like, I've never tried, and I'm not gonna let my first time be on a live stream. You know? But yeah. But yeah, it's like, I've tried to do we need to talk about how I got one time. Okay, so when we're playing D&D, one of the accents that Jay uses a lot is Scottish. He uses a Scottish accent for a lot of major characters, including Rodin, my beloved. And at some point, we were kind of like dicking around during a break in like a session, and we were talking about accents, and I was challenged to try and do a Scottish accent. I didn't even get 3 words into my attempt at a Scottish accent, and I had to stop because everybody was laughing at me. Everybody laughed at me so quickly because my Scottish accent is that bad. And it was so mean that I never did it again. So... Fucking rude. Fucking rude. My most potent Irish quality, I inherited a sunburn. No, same though. Same though. I turn into a lobster so quickly. I go lobster mode so fast. Oh my god, it's embarrassing, frankly. Now I want to hear your Scottish accent. No, no. See, the problem is that, like, when I think Scottish accent, I think of two things. I think of Shrek, I think of Elvis Bravely Default 2, and both of those are, like, horrendously exaggerated. Oh, God. Can you do a Surrey accent by chance? I don't even know what that is. I can't even do dialectic accents from my own country. Don't ask me to do specific dialects of other countries. Because I can't. Is that why you like lobsters? No, it's completely unrelated. I just like lobsters because they're cool. They're like shrimps, but bigger. And they've got like armor. Lobsters are like the knights of shrimp. Does that make any sense? Does that make any sense? Can you do a New York accent? Hey, I'm walking here. Fucking calzone. I know a guy up the street. His name's Tony. I don't fucking know. Is that New York? I don't know. Why do you guys keep getting me to do accents? I'm in pain. And then my Boston accent sounds exactly like that. But it's just like there's a little bit more stank on it. They sound identical. It's like, hey, I'm in Boston. Hey, I'm in Boston. It's the same fucking accent. I can't do accents! Why do you guys keep making me do these? Clam chowder, yeah, I can't. Can you do a Baltimore accent? I don't know what a Baltimore accent sounds like. Does it sound like a New York accent? If it's a New York, hey, I'm from Baltimore, hey, I don't know. Guys, I just got through saying I'm not gonna do regional, like, British accents because I don't know the difference. I literally just said I can't even do regional dialects from my own country. This is what I mean. What about a French accent? Hon, baguette, etc. Like, what do you guys want from me? You know it's not gonna sound good. I have prefaced all of these by saying it's not gonna sound good. And yet you continue to ask for them. Because you know it causes me pain. Would love to see a Quebecois accent. No, because the most traumatizing airport experience I've had was in the Montreal airport. Quebec scares me. I'm scared of Quebec now. Because when I went to Canada to visit my friends, I had a layover in that airport and it was legitimately my most traumatizing airport experience. It was scary. And I almost got pulled out of the line for customs and had to explain what D&D was to a border patrol officer who was very angry. It was scary. I feel like I need to take this opportunity and just aggressively change the subject. So that you guys stop trying to get me to do random accents. Because I've already said that I'm not good at them, and you guys just keep being like, do more accents, dance for us, monkey on a string. And I'm like, I just draw pictures. I just draw pictures. New Jersey is an easy accent, just flip the other person off constantly. Okay, I can do that. That's easy. That's easy peasy. Subject change. What's the theme for August? Theme for August. This is for next month's mail club. The theme is chapter 12, specifically like the flashback parts of chapter 12, because I wanted an excuse to draw baby Sage as a sticker. The problem problem with doing Chapter 12 Mail Club is that I wanted to do kind of a specific composition, and then I realized that that composition would not be spoilers for patrons, because by the time the Mail Club set comes out, they would have seen it already. They would, like, understand what it's referencing. But the main website wouldn't get that information until, like, September, because the Patreon is a couple pages ahead. And I was like, oh, dang it. Oh, dang it. So yeah, I opted for a slightly different composition that would not be spoilers, but I still think it looks cool. So we're just gonna have fun. Oh my god, is that a Budyu in the chat? Oh my god. A local cryptid. What the heck is up? Boys are having a pizza party. They are having a totally normal pizza party where nothing bad or emotionally devastating happens. You guys, listen, you guys signed up for this comic knowing that it was going to cause you pain, right? You guys are like, okay, if this chapter is just, this chapter and many chapters after are just gonna be like emotionally devastating. Like, I feel like you guys understand that, right? You guys, like, get that, right? Have I, you know, telegraphed that well? Have I telegraphed that well at all? Are you guys good with that? Because I will let you guys know there will be some slams fist on table emotional damage happening. And I'm nervous about it. Because it's like, yes, I love pain. Me, emotional pain. Yes, thank you from my media. But I am getting to the point where it's just like, oh, is this too much emotional pain? Is this too much sad for my webbed comic? And according to my moderators and members of the Spoiler Squad, no. But, you know, they are also emotional masochists because they read my comics. So, I mean, oh boy. It's fine. It's fine. Everything is cool and fine, and nothing bad will happen. Yay! I didn't sign up for it, but I guess I'll be here for the ride of trauma. No, you have to sign a waiver. You have to sign a waiver before you read my comic, because it will cause you emotional pain. It's not how the song goes, but that's how I'm gonna sing it anyway. And you are causing emotional pain. That's a Jukebox the Ghost song. At what point will Dawn and Diana need to do a wellness check on me because trauma happened with Zara? Oh boy. Well, we'll get there. We will get there eventually, trust. All I will say is that I am very excited for the next couple of chapters in regards to learning about characters and their various traumas. Oh boy, yippee-ki-yay, stuff is gonna be happening. Stuff is gonna be happening. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Da-da-da-da-da. Things are gonna be happening. Wee! I do my silly little dance of emotionally devastating character trauma. Yippee! Yippee! I think Frankie's trauma will likely break me. We'll get there. We'll get there. Well, by the end of the comic, everybody's trauma will be out there. And we're all gonna have a good old time. Yay! Yippee! Emotional damage! Yippee! Oh man, so we were talking about this on the Discord a few nights ago. I stayed up too late a few nights ago, and then I just went ham dropping details on the Discord about like character stuff, because I can't remember who it was. It was probably Holly. Was always with the finger on the pulse, Zera. Always with the finger on the pulse, always asking about Zera stuff. I think. Listen, I stayed up too late and I was just like, I'm just gonna be a little bit silly and just casually drop some character information in the Discord. Was talking about like the Zera bonus comic that I want to do someday, and talking about that because someone asked about the bonus comic that I talked about a while back. It's a bonus comic called The Temple. And it's been one that's been in my head for a while, but I haven't done it yet. It was originally planned to be a Patreon reward that I was gonna do at some point, but then I ended up pushing it back because we hit the goal faster than I thought we were going to, and I was worried that if I did it too early, it would spoil some stuff in the comic that was gonna come up later. And so I ended up kind of like putting it on the back burner. But it is one I still definitely do want to do, because it's fun. It's about grieving! Whee! But yeah, I can talk about it a little bit for folks who, you know, I like to reward folks who come to stream with some little tidbits of lore. The Temple comic is a Zera-focused story. And it's very much about him like processing his own traumas. And so that whole comic is kind of like, it's about like the grieving process and like how it's kind of different for everybody. And it's like, how do you grieve people, and how does grieving differ in different cultural scenarios as well? That's another thing that it kind of touches on for world building reasons. Did Zera's trauma erode away his ass? All right, I had forgotten completely about the flat ass Zera jokes, if I'm being completely honest. And now they're back. But yeah. So that one's fun. That one is fun for me. That one will get finished eventually. But yeah, I am waiting until we get to a specific point in the story before I consider dropping that one. And that specific point will be about a third of the way through chapter 13. So we're actually getting up pretty close to it. If I really, really wanted to wait until there was absolutely no chance of spoilers, I'd wait until chapter like 15 was finished, but that is a long time to wait, and I think I could get away with doing it approximately around the time that chapter 13 is happening. How many chapters is Cast Off? Several. Don't have an exact number. Will likely be 20 something. Like in the low 20s, I'm hoping. But yeah, no guarantee as far as actual length, because it keeps getting a combination of longer and shorter. Just because, like, it's not that the comic is getting longer, it's more that the way that the chapters are broken up keeps changing. And so that makes it hard to have an accurate tally. So we're halfway. Yeah, we're roughly halfway done with the story. The end of chapter 10 is kind of story-wise the halfway point. So if you're thinking about it in terms of like an animated series, like an anime or something, chapter 10 would be the season 1 finale. And then chapter 11 and onwards is like season 2. So chapter 12 is like, you know, going back, getting some additional context for shit that is already, for shit that like we didn't know happened, and that we're finally getting context that recontextualizes all the stuff that has happened previously. A lot of secrets are gonna get revealed in chapter 12. And then as a result of those secrets getting revealed, it's going to bring up more questions that will be answered throughout the remainder of the back half of the series. We're on season 1. No, we're on season 2. We are firmly in if you think about it, so I kind of pace the comic as if it were an anime, like a 2-season anime. And so you have to consider like each chapter would be like one episode of an anime. That's kind of how I pace it out. Chapter 10 is long enough that it would need to be 2 episodes on its own. Chapter 11 too, probably, honestly. But I try to think of it, and I try to like pace the chapters so that every chapter is approximately enough information that would be in like one episode of a 20-minute TV show. And so season 1 would be like, you know, the prologue through chapter 10. And then chapter 11 and onward would be season 2. So that's kind of how I think about it, storyline wise. So, you know, if anybody, you know, animation studios want a cool webcomic to make into an animated series, I am standing right here. Point. We're gonna fart around with this a little bit. We're gonna see if... Do I want to go with white pupils or just like a lighter color pupil? I don't know. We are just messing about today. Having fun, etc.
My local bank. Please misplaced $432.562.62 in my bank account and my life is USC.
M Creeper, thank you for the super chat. I am not your local bank. I think that needs to be redirected to your local bank branch because that is not me. Clap, clap. But yes, thank you for the super chat. Oh yeah, so this is completely off topic. But I have an idea for another video / series of shorts. How does this sound for a potential October video? I kind of want to do a video where I just draw / talk about all of my original characters. All of them. Because, okay, so October's coming up. October starts with OC. OC-tober, like capital O, capital C-tober, as like my not Inktober challenge. And so I was thinking, it's like, I have enough characters that I could very, very easily pick, you know, like 31 of the most important characters that I kind of have in my arsenal, and just do some little drawings of them, make each individual drawing into a short, but then also at the end of the month, combine them all into a longer video and talk about them. I think that would be fun. But yeah, so that is something. I'm talking about like going all the way back to like my very first OCs I made. I'm not going to talk about, you know, every single OC I've ever made, because some of them it's like they don't have enough information, or I haven't thought about them since I was in middle school, that kind of thing. But I could very easily, you know, like pick 30-ish of my favorite characters that I've ever come up with, draw all of them, make each drawing into a short where I talk about them for like, you know, 45 seconds to a minute, and then combine them all at the end of the month into one big, long, like, challenge video. That would require a lot of drawing, but at the very least, I would be good on stream art for the entirety of October. So, like, yay. Here, hang on. I'm gonna take a real quick bathroom break, but I will be right back, and then we will continue talking about this. Be Okay, I'm back. I am back now. So let's keep talking about that idea. But yeah, so the thing is, I would do it as like a 30-day challenge, but if I wanted to do it exactly the way I'm thinking, I would honestly probably start like doing the art. It wouldn't be like a true 30-day challenge just for the month of October, because I would probably want to start it a few days early at least. So that I can, you know, be posting finished shorts like every day. So I'd probably like do a bunch of sketches, like render them on stream a few like days to like a few weeks early. And then I could make the challenge, not that I'm drawing one every day, but that I'm like posting one every day and talking about them in a short or something. But yeah, it's just, I think it would be fun. And you guys seem to like it when I talk about my characters. And I think it could be fun, but I don't know. I forgot to draw the little hair down here. Apologies, Sage. There. There's your hairs. Little baby hairs. Wah. 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 What about Inktober? I did Inktober once a few years ago. But apparently the guy who like started Inktober is kind of a butt. And so I don't really do Inktober. I never really have. I did it 1 year, a couple years ago, but it has been a while. And I mainly did Inktober as a way to very specifically like practice a certain type of inking. And that was the main reason I did it. Less to be like a 30-day challenge and more just like, I want to improve this specific thing about my art and this seems like a good time to try that. So, you know. But yeah, I don't know. I think that like OC-tober could be fun, and it's definitely something that I would like to do, because then I could, you know, make a big old video talking about all my characters. And like, it wouldn't be every single character that I've ever come up with. But it would definitely be like a lot of my D&D characters who I haven't gotten to talk about very much. Some characters from my old webcomic. It would be an excuse to like kind of go back and draw them with my current art style. That I think could be really fun. A lot of my D&D NPCs are on the hypothetical list that I made. I can tell you guys the, do you guys want me to read you this list? Because I made the list already of potentials. Oh, no, I need my YouTube folder. OC-tober drawing challenge. Yeah, I made like a list of characters. And this is actually, I need to cut a few from this list because the list got too long. So yeah, the list is, so these are all roughly in chronological order, with the exception of the very first one, which would be Star Carmine, aka my YouTuber, or my VTuber persona. Just because I think that would be a good one to just like, for the short, use that as the first one for explaining the rules, because she doesn't really have a lot of lore, or like a story behind her. She's just kind of like cute anime version of me. But yeah, and then going down the list, we have Mari and Tara, who were my very first like actual OCs. And then I recycled them for my first webcomic, so if those names sound familiar, that's why. And then a third character named Haru, who was also from one of my very first webcomics, that only made it 6 pages, and he was never introduced because we didn't get that far. And then the 4 main characters from my first webcomic, which was May, Lucas, Xavier, and Millie. That brings us up to 8. And then we have basically the entire cast of cast-offs. So we have Vector, Ariana, Frankie, Rory, Marina, Zara, Sage, Liam, Sonia, Taryn. Like that's the whole main cast. This one probably won't make it into the final video, but I have another character. Her name is Nia. She's on my, no, she's not on my art fight anymore. She used to be on my art fight. But she was a character I made for a project with friends. I don't really use her for anything, but I recycled her and made her a D&D NPC. And then I have the Tiefling Brigade. I have Felix and Zephyr, who were both Tieflings, and then Zephyr's alter ego Storm, because he is a changeling. And then we have a couple of D&D NPCs, which is Fiero, Elena, Kato, Silas, Johan, So those are like my favorite NPCs that I've made for our home game. And then a few more like actual D&D characters that I have played. We have Emery, Verity, Cyrus, and Lapis. And then the last few are collaborative Blorbos, one might call it, which is characters that I made up for Verity's backstory that Jay and I kind of collaborated on. And that's Rodin, Darius, Mira, and Willow. And altogether, that's 35. So that's too many. I need to narrow this down. But yeah. Speaking of your older characters, are there more printed comics of your Psy webcomic? Actually, yes. I do still have some of those kicking around. Only 50 of those books exist. And like half of them are still in my closet because I didn't end up selling any at like any future conventions. I sold like one at a con in 2012, and then I didn't do conventions after that for a very long time. And by the time I was doing conventions again, I had like quit that webcomic and I didn't want to work on it anymore. And so I kind of stopped bringing those books around, but now I've just got all these books just sitting in my closet, wasting away. But yeah, put them on your store, I dare you. I mean, I could. They're not very well put together is the thing. But I don't know. I've actually been considering like putting them up on my store. I just keep forgetting whenever I'm, you know, actually sitting and doing stuff. That's a lot of babies. You got a lot of children. That is not even the full list, because like that is not including a variety of characters that I made for an even older attempt at a webcomic that I never actually made any pages for this one, so it doesn't really count. But I definitely made like a group of magical girl characters. It was totally not a Tokyo Mew Mew ripoff. It was like a weird combination of Tokyo Mew Mew and Zatch Bell, because those were like two anime that I was really into at the time. And I had like a group of 5 characters from that, and I don't remember anything about them except that they were cat girls. So those guys are not included because I don't remember their names. This also does not include a number of like self-insert / fan OCs for various pieces of media. I did not put my Full Metal Alchemist OC in there. I did not put like any of my various like fan media. My Danny Phantom OC, who was not originally intended on being a Danny Phantom OC. I came up with her like 3 months before Danny Phantom came out as a show, and she like had ghost powers, and like she was like, her color scheme was like white and black and blue, and she had the power to like turn invisible and fly around, and she had like a cool sword and shit. And then Danny Phantom came out like 3 months after I came up with that character, so she just ended up being a Danny Phantom NPC, or like an OC. So she's not included. Her name was Aqua, for the record, because I'm very good at naming characters. But yeah, like, these are all just, I'm sticking to the characters that have had the most impact, because there's definitely a lot of characters where it's just like, I kind of came up with them and then never did anything with them. Or I came up with them when I was really young and they don't really mean anything to me anymore. So it's more like a challenge of drawing all the characters I have, but also the top 31 of them that like still mean something to me, you know? Whether they had an important role in a story that I'm no longer working on, or they're important to a story I'm actively telling, or anything like that. It's like my top 30, it's all of my OCs, asterisk, that I still remember well enough to talk about and put into a video. But yeah. I had a character, because like, for example, I included Haru in there, and Haru was like one of the main characters of my first webcomic that I started doing and then quit after 6 pages. And I put him on the list because I still remember a lot of his stuff. An OC from that same story who did not make the cut and I'm not shitting you, is a character I had whose name was Arson. I had an OC. His name was Arson. He wasn't even like a fire-themed character. He was not an arsonist in any way. He was just a guy, and I named him that because I thought it sounded cool. I am not kidding. That is a true story. He's not a tiefling. No, I came up with this character when I was in middle school. I didn't even know what D&D was. But yeah, no, he was legit just a character named Arson. Had nothing to do with arson. He was just a fucking guy. And he was like the boyfriend of one of the main characters. That was like his entire personality was boyfriend. Arson with no fire. Why no fire? Because I was stupid in middle school, okay? Because I was stupid. That's the only reason you need. So like, that guy did not make the cut. Honestly love that though. I mean, listen, it's kind of funny now, but it was not intended to be funny is the thing. It was not intended to be funny. I just thought it was a cool name for a character. Oh boy. But yeah, so like, I'm ignoring a couple characters like that. There was also like, Haru had a love interest. I don't remember a damn thing about her, so she didn't make the list. I don't even remember what I named her. There's a couple of minor characters in my first webcomic, like my first actual webcomic, Sai. There's a couple of like minor characters that I'm leaving out. There's a lot of D&D NPCs that I'm leaving out just because it's like I came up with them for incidentals or I don't care about them quite as much. But yeah, just so I'm sticking with like, for the sake of the challenge, the 31 characters that I have made in my life that I care the most about today, I suppose is a way to put it. But yeah, I don't know. I think it could be fun. It would not be like a true 31-day challenge because I would have to start in advance if I wanted to start posting on day one. Especially with shorts, just because those take time to edit. But yeah. I just think that would be a fun and cool and very high effort video. And I want to do it. I want to do it. Star 31 characters. Oh, and it's gone. Oh yeah. But yeah, so that's a potential idea for my October video. And yeah, I wouldn't be like drawing them as full bodies or anything. I might even just do them as chibis, just for fun. I don't know. I need to decide exactly what I want to do. But I might just do like flat colors. I might keep them, you know, like relatively simplified. But I think it would be fun, and I think it would be cute, and it would give me an excuse to talk about old OCs that I don't really use anymore. I might honestly slim down, and like, I wonder if maybe I should like remove some of the cast-off characters from the list, but at the same, just because like I talk about them so much already, like people get it. But at the same time, it's like, those are my main babies. Those are my main babies. But would it be more interesting for the video if I cut them out? Because I've already talked about them so freaking much. I talk about them constantly, and they're the only characters I have, aside from like Emery, that like people can already read about because their piece of media exists in the world. So maybe I should. I don't know. That would give me more room for other stuff. Because like I talk about the cast-off characters all the time. I don't know. What do you guys think? Should I keep the cast-off characters in the OC video? The hypothetical OC video? Or should I cut them in favor of some other characters who I have not talked about ever? I assumed it would exclude cast off. Yeah, I mean... That's a good question. I might make a poll in the Discord about that later. Just in favor of like letting some of my other characters have the spotlight, you know? That might be nice for them, I think. Keep the cast off characters and remove one to replace with arson. Oh my god. Again, this guy, like, he isn't anybody. He doesn't really have any, like, meaningful design features, because he's literally, like, just a fucking guy. He had, like, light brown hair, and that's literally all I remember about him. Keep them, but share facts we wouldn't know about them? I suppose I could. Liam and his buddies, but not the main ones? Yeah, maybe. Maybe. Something to ponder. I definitely have time to think about it. I have time to think about it. So I shall, in fact, think about it. But yeah. Oh, that's very scary looking. Sage buddy, what you staring at? Oh no, very scary. Very scary. I do think I like the idea of just like, rather than talking about their story in general for the cast-off OCs, just because like people can read the comic if they want to know. Just like talk about some little known facts. Just some little bonus things. Little bonus bits. Some little bacon bits, I don't know. Ah, now I want salad with bacon bits. Ugh. I'm hungry. Sorry, I'm laughing at things in Discord that other folks can't see. There's a fight happening in the mod chat. I'm gonna kick Athena's butt later. I'm gonna kick Athena's butt later. Gosh dang it. Gosh dang it. Anyway, but yeah, I don't know. This month has been the month of Star wakes up with fucking ideas in her head. Cause like last week I woke up with the idea for the costume design contest in my head. And then a few days later I woke up and was like, I should do OC-tober and draw all of my OCs and make it into shorts, but then combine all of the footage into one single long form video. Because I like the idea of repurposing artwork for multiple things. The efficiency nerd in my brain finds that very compelling. It's just like, there's like been a couple of art challenges that I've wanted to do specifically because I knew I would be able to use them for shorts as well. It's like, I could make a full video about this, but then I could also repurpose each of the segments and make a short of it. So like when I eventually do the 10 art styles challenge, I'm gonna take each of the art styles and make their own make it its own short. And then I will also, you know, have a longer video where I discuss each art style in more detail. Because we love recycling. We love recycling and recycling artwork to make different and new content that can be posted on other platforms. And I know I sound like a fucking dweeb. I sound like a dweebus influencer, but I'm right. Dang it. I know you want Share to post a shared cast-off character favorite meals and colors and such, share info like that. Yeah, that's not a bad idea. I think I might do that. That, I think, could be interesting. What's wrong with recycling? Nothing, nothing. I'm a dork when it comes to like, my friends tease me whenever I talk about hashtag making content and the content ecosystem or whatever. But it's like, this is stuff that I genuinely find fun and interesting, is just like making stuff and being efficient about the way that I make things so that I can repurpose it. And, you know, like getting multiple uses out of a single piece of art I think is fun. Use all parts of the buffalo. Exactly. Use all parts of the anime drawings. Things are getting very heated. Sly called out Athena for saying that I sound like Rin Penrose, and now they're fighting in the Discord. It's very funny. Yeah, you and Athena are fighting. Yeah, I can see that, Sly. I've got Discord open on my other monitor. It's getting very heated, and I'm just over here fucking laughing. Goodness gracious. The Battle of the British Star. My god. It truly do be like that now, don't it? I'm gonna give Athena some grief for that later. Gotta go, but it's been fun. I've missed being on these streams so much. Well, Dawn, just quit your job and come hang out in streams for a living. That's something that pays you just as well as a day job would, right? That's a rational thing to do. Quit your job. Support streamer. Hang around for live streams. That's a viable career path. Everybody loves it. Listen, someday I will be making enough money that I can afford to pay my moderators, but until then, just quit your job and come hang out. I would like to be paid to talk to my favorite streamer chats, right? I forgot to change the shadow color on his little book. I'm just watching this fight go down on Discord, and it's getting very heated. And I'm just sitting over here with my little popcorn bucket going like, oh shit, it's getting good. Fight, my warriors. Fight for me. Let them fight. Sorry, you've influenced me into making a tiefling character. Yes! Good! Tieflings. I really like tieflings, you guys. I think they are neat, and I think they are fun to design. My biggest thing with tieflings is I think that they are fun to design. You can do a lot with like the different skin colors and the different horns and the tails, and I really like tiefling. Fucking point of order, I have a new tiefling as of fucking yesterday. Yesterday I have. So she's technically not a player character, but she is another character in the Verity D&D saga, because so So, very quick backstory for folks who are not familiar. My D&D character, Verity, she's a little purple tiefling. She is my baby girl. I love her. I love her very, very much. Probably, honestly, the original character that I am most obsessed with, at the very least, at this specific moment in time. I love her very much. She is the source of most of my brainworms. She is my little baby girl. So, Verity's whole thing is that she used to be in a party of like 4 other characters, and they were all going around it as adventurers, and then on one of their first missions as adventurers, their campsite gets attacked in the middle of the night, and Verity fucking dies. She is then dead. The rest of her party tries to bring her back, and they succeed, but it takes like 200 years, and for all of those 200 years, they think they have failed. They think they got scammed by this like evil fucking sand monster that they tried to get to resurrect her. What do you mean there's nothing in the processing area? Fuck you. Oh, wrong layer. But yeah, so they tried to resurrect her. It didn't look like it worked. It did eventually work, but it took like 200 years. In that time, Rodin, he's a dwarven cleric turned paladin eventually. He was Verity's crush slash kind of boyfriend. They dated a little bit before she passed away. He was extremely upset about her dying, and then just kind of had all these hang-ups and just grieved in a lot of different ways. And one of the ways was to eventually adopt a daughter who is a tiefling, and just like gave her Verity's last name. And made her kind of like the heir to this kingdom that he started. And so I was like, what would that character be like? And so I came up with her. She's a character now. Her name is Vesper, and she's baby. The only drawings of her are in my sketchbook right now. But she's another like little purple tiefling. She does not look exactly like Verity, but she looks similar enough that like the connections could be drawn. And it's just like, oh, now I have a new little baby. And like, again, in the context of the current D&D campaign, she is no longer alive because she would have been adopted like 100 years before the current main storyline that we're playing through. But she had children, and then she had grandchildren, and then the like at least one of the grandchildren is a character that we have actually met in the story already. And so she, that Certainty is her. We've already met her. She was like one of the first people we met in the campaign. And so I designed like this character who was her grandmother. But she's the design I have for her right now is her when she baby. When she baby. I was just like, I just like slid into Jay's DMs and was like, hey, I have an idea for a name for this character that we're never going to see because I have mental problems. And I have brainworms, and I need to exercise them, and the only way to do that is by thinking about D&D characters far too much. But the name came from the idea for Verity. Before I decided on Verity, I was gonna call her Violetta. I was thinking about calling her Vesper. I was thinking about calling her Vespertine. I went through a couple different names before I eventually decided on Verity, but I was like thinking about it, and I'm like, what if the kid that wrote it adopts? What if her name also starts with a V, and maybe that's one of the things that's like one of the reasons why he's motivated to adopt her, because he reminds her of Verity. Or she reminds him of Verity. But her name is Vesper, which is a nod to one of her original names. What color tieflings are you missing from your tiefling rainbow? I have pink, I have red. I kind of sort of have an orange, but I played him in a one-shot, and I'm not like super duper in love with him. I don't have a yellow, I have a green, I have a dark blue. I would also like a light blue at some point. I have a purple. I would also like a white tiefling, like porcelain white at some point, because I have an idea for like a rogue or something that's like a tiefling with like just pure white skin and like black sclera eyes. I think that would look really cool. But yeah, so I don't know what the final count on the tiefling rainbow would be. But I have still a couple colors that I can work with. So, you know. I'm not missing that many, but I've got enough that I gotta fill out the roster a little more. I was thinking at some point it might be fun. And this was actually, this was a potential other reason why I wanted to do the 30-day OC challenge. But I was thinking it might be fun to make like a zine or like just like a little mini art book where I have like a drawing of each of my major characters. And then I just kind of like talk about their stories a little bit and go into like character bios and stuff. I don't know. I think it could be cool. I like making books now. I'm all into making books now, and it's a problem. I'm all into making books and shit because I think they're neat. But I don't know. It's very much a hypothetical, maybe someday type of situation. But I think it could be fun, and folks seem to like the characters I make, which is another motivating factor. I get really excited when people care about my blorbos. My little DIY guys that live in my brain. Maybe one based off the Mail Club art. So, Art of Cast-Off. Okay. So here's the thing, gang. I have not officially announced this and will not be. This is not an official announcement. I don't know when this is happening. My goal is next year. Just because every like 6 months or so, I get it in my brain that I want to make an art book. Oh, that's not the right adjustment layer. I need the... I always do a little bit of level correction on these drawings so they turn out a little bit lighter than originally intended, just because when I go to print, they're going to print out way darker. And so if Mail Club art ever looks light, it's because I'm compensating for print. And so I tend to like crank the brightness up a little bit because it will get darker and more saturated when it goes to print. But yeah, anyway, I've got some minutes. We can talk about this a little bit. So yeah, this is not a announcement. This is not a official, like, this is definitely a thing that is happening, but it is very much a thing that I have been thinking about. Because here's the thing. So, in the past, Mail Club, right? I have a Mail Club for my comic. Every month, I release stickers, like 2 to 3 stickers, and a print for my webcomic. And usually the way I'd work those is that those are only available during the month that they are pushed out. And because people sometimes, join in the Patreon and find the comic too late to get those, what I decided I would do is, just because there was such a high demand for it, is that I would do reruns. Like every April, I do it in April because it's the webcomic's anniversary, I would re-release all of the old Mail Club art as like prints and stickers. And at first this was manageable because, I was making everything at home. I was making the stickers at home. I was making the prints at home. Like the first couple of years, it was pretty easy because I just printed everything at home. And then I had, like a backlog of like a year or two of prints and stickers, and I wasn't getting that much interest in them. And so, it was like a little bit of a nice income boost, but it wasn't anything major. And every year it got more difficult because I had a bigger fan base and more people wanting to buy more stuff, and B, I had more designs that I then had to make available. And so every year it got more and more difficult to do the reruns, to the point where this most recent year was kind of a nightmare. Like, because I had like, every time I would sit down to pack orders, because, you know, like on a normal day-to-day basis, I pack orders twice a week, and it takes me like an hour or two, sometimes even less than that, to just, you know, pack up all my orders. I just grab the pins, I grab the keychains, I just grab the stickers. It's real easy. I can package like 20 orders, you know, in like an hour or two, and it's real easy. And I just pack them up, ship them out. It's not a big deal. But then during April, I had like so many people, and I'm like eternally grateful for this, because like the extra income I got in that April was very significant. And it really does mean a lot that, you know, like people were buying like all these extra prints and stuff. I think that was really, really cool. But oh my God, that was a lot of extra work. That was a lot of extra work. It was taking me like 5 or 6 hours twice a week to print and cut and package all of the excess mail club orders for whenever I would do the refunds or the reruns. And it has gotten to a point where it is no longer sustainable. I love the energy that people have so much. I love that people want these so badly that they are willing to, you know, like save up all year to then go ham during the month of April. But it has gotten unsustainable. And so I was faced with a problem of, I don't think I can do this again, because if the comic keeps growing, this will be completely unsustainable by next year. And I was scared of that, because it's like, I had a few options. I could either start slimming down and make it so that those earliest, like the first few years of designs were not available, and the reruns would only be for like the most recent like 2 years of the comic. But then that would disappoint people who wanted the older art. I could try and go through a fulfillment service, but that's so many different designs, so many different like stickers and prints, and I would want to make sure that I could quality check all of them. And going through like a print on demand service, like this was less of a concern to me, but I also wouldn't be making as much income from that. And so like, while people would be able to get them still, I wouldn't be as satisfied with the quality doing it that way. Another option was to just make them non-exclusive and just sell them all the time. And that would, you know, kind of like thin it out a little bit, but then that kind of gets rid of the joy of the exclusivity of the mail club, right? That kind of defeats the point. And so I didn't want to do that. So what I kind of ended up thinking about, the thought that I think I'm going to stick with, is that instead of doing reruns every month or every year, what if I just took all of that art, made a book out of it? I could print out like higher resolution, like larger versions of the mail club prints, and higher res, larger versions of the stickers. And I could put that, and I could like make each month like a spread in a book. So like one side, so like the left page would be a full page version of the postcard print for that month. And then the right side would have like the month, the theme, a little blurb about it, and then nice high res printed versions of what the stickers looked like for that month, like what the designs looked like. And I could do that for every single month in the past. And I could just make like an entire book about it. And that would just be like, I could combine it with some, I was thinking, I'm still waffling over exactly how I want to do it. Because like I could, you know, put a lot, just make it like a Cast Off exclusive book, right? I could just have it be like the art of Cast Off, and then have, you know, just like character concepts, bonus comics. I could have all the mail club in there. That mail club would account for most of the book. I could have like concept art pieces. I could have old arts, etc., etc. I could do that and have it like just be a Cast Off book. Or I could do like what a lot of Japanese artists do, and have just set a year like a year range, be like this year to this year, and just fill it with, have a big section dedicated to Cast Off, but also include like all of my fan merch, like my little chibi designs for like all of the artwork that I've done for shit like Critical Role and like Somnium Files, and just like all the fan art that I've done, all of these little like fan merch designs, like, you know, nice printed versions of the prints that I've made, all the postcards I've done, art for my VTuber concepts for that, just like a TheStarfishface artworks collection type of thing. So like a big section of it would be dedicated to Cast Off, but it would be like all the art I've done over the last approximately 5 to 6 years. So that's another thought that I had. I'm still kind of trying to decide which one I want to do, but at the very least, I know that the mail clubs would be a big part of that, just because it's like, okay, there has to be some compromise here, and I think that might be the compromise, which is like, rather than reprinting the prints and stickers every year, sticking them all in a book and being like, here's all the artwork all together. Yeah, the stickers would not be actually stickers. I think that would probably be too difficult to actually implement. But the designs of the stickers would be in the book. So it's like you could see them, they would be there, but they would not be stickers. They would just be printed into the book. And I don't know, I think that would be potentially very cool. I was kind of thinking, I think that next year is probably too early to be thinking about volume 2 for Cast Off, because that one's gonna take some time as well. And I don't know if I can do a book every year for Cast Off. I think that might be a little bit too fast for my heart, just because of how high stress like the comic printing is. But I was thinking like, so this year is Cast Off volume 1. Next year could be like the big art book. And then, so the 2025 could be art book, and I do a Kickstarter for that. And then the year after, 2026, could be volume 2. And then maybe volume 3 after that, I'm not sure. This is thinking very, very, very overly far ahead. But that's kind of what is bumping around in the brain right now. Keeping with the Cast Off theme, it would make sense for the 10th anniversary. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking. That was definitely the thought, because yeah, next year is Cast Off's 10th anniversary, so that is a big factor. That's a big thing worth celebrating. So like just a general art of Cast Off book, I think would go over pretty well. But at the same time, I also, you know, I would love to do just like a general artworks book, just like a collab or a combination of like all the art I've done over the last couple of years. I think it would be neat. I don't know. I'm still waffling about it. I'm in Waffle Town. I'm in Waffle Zone. But yeah, I haven't really talked about it publicly yet because it's still very much a thing in the works. It's still like so early. I haven't really put too much thought into it. I did go and format like all of the pages, all the mail club pages for this hypothetical book are formatted. I haven't like written the blurbs for any of them or anything. Would the fan art still remain buyable as their miniature versions even if you put them in a book? Yeah, like the fan art stuff would still be, you know, available as keychains and stickers or whatever, but it would also be a way for me to include, you know, like discontinued stickers that I don't sell anymore, discontinued keychains, because I am in the process of discontinuing a lot of stuff just to make room for new stuff. And so that would be a way for people to, you know, still have access to that art and be able to buy that art and have versions of it. But I don't have to worry about keeping inventory for it anymore. I don't know. I just like the idea of having a big omnibus of a lot of my art just kind of all together for people who like my art, and also just kind of for me. Because I think that would be cool and I want it to exist. Like, I kind of started this by saying, every 6 months or so, I think, oh, it would be nice if I could do an art book, like a real professional artist or something. And then I usually just back out of the idea because, wow, that's a lot of work. But this time, it happened when I was in the middle of formatting the cast-off book, like the actual volume 1. And so I already had InDesign, like, open the most recent time I had that thought, and I was like, beep, beep, bing. And I was like, well, let's see what this would look like. And then I got really excited about it, and now I want to do it really bad. So that's probably going to be a thing that happens. Just whether or not it's a cast-off only book or a cast-off plus a bunch of other stuff book remains to be decided. TBD. Make space for cast-off character pillows. That is hypothetically still happening at some point, eventually. And that's all I'm going to say on that matter. That is all I am going to say about that for right now. It is potentially still happening, but the exact form it will take may vary depending on some stuff. And that's all I'm going to say about it. So. How's the sketchbook going? It's going. I kind of fell off my groove for traditional art for a couple weeks because I just got busy with other stuff. But I have been trying to get back into it. After the stream is over, if I'm not too tired, I will probably go do some more because I want to draw this new Blorbo who has worked her way into my brain. I'm gonna go draw some Vespers because she's baby and I want to see what she looks like in color. The only drawings of her I have are like Sharpie doodles. Or highlighter doodles that I did in my sketchbook last night before bed. No. But yeah, I don't know. I thought about putting it to a poll if people would prefer like a cast-off only book or just like an art in general book. But I also haven't really talked about this project. This is the first time I'm bringing it up publicly because it's still very much like in the planning stages. But yeah, it's looking likely that it's going to happen. I just haven't decided the exact logistics of it all. The biggest point is just that I don't know if I can continue to offer the Mail Club reruns because that is too much work for me. It just got to a point where it has become unsustainable and something had to change, and this was the compromise that I landed on. And I hope that folks are into it. So, you know. That's the story, and I'm sticking to it. Etc., etc. It's a very reasonable compromise. I am glad you think so. Because I worry that people will be disappointed with the lack of Mail Club reruns, but at the same time, it was just... I could not continue doing that. It was just way too much work and it was stressing me out. And that is not the energy that I want to bring to my life. It's like I have to find some sort of happy medium or else I will die of stress before I turn 40. And that is not the vibe. That is not the vibe that we are going for, chat. I'm not allowed to die until cast-off is finished. I'm not allowed. Morbid thoughts you have sometimes, just in the showers, just like... no, I'm not even gonna humor that thought. Not even gonna continue it. Maybe for the people who do want the prints and stickers too, you could do a select year along with the books. I mean, the point of the books is so that I would not have to do it in all anymore, is kind of the idea. But yeah, I mean, I might offer some, like, greatest hits for stickers as, like, additional rewards for the Kickstarter, but... I don't know. A large format quality art book is more than a compromise. It's so much better. I am glad you think so. The size I'm aiming for is 7 by 10. Because that is roughly the size of the prints, but it's like a little bit bigger, so it's nice. I have a couple of like art books from Japanese artists I have that are that size, and I think it's like a nice size where you can open the books a good amount. But it's not like so huge that it's unmanageable, right? It's like, it's a nice size where you can see the artwork in more definition, but it's not so huge that it is ridiculous. Especially because some of the Mail Club illustrations were not done at a high enough res. I usually draw the Mail Club prints at double the size that I need to, and the stickers are always like, I draw these stickers on a 10 by 10 canvas. They are big boys. But occasionally I forgot to change the size of the prints, and so a lot of the prints are just 5 by 7, when I usually draw the prints at like 10 by 14 size. So I didn't want to blow up the prints too much more, because then there would definitely be a noticeable dip in quality. For the final printing of the book. But I figure if I make them like a smidge bigger, folks would probably not notice so much. But if I made them too much bigger, then people would probably notice, because the print quality would be affected pretty significantly. But yeah, 7 by 10 is the size that I am angling for. I think it's a good size. And I think my art will look good at that size, and I think it will be pretty. Might you do version 2 of some of the monthly themes, like more Pokemon / cast-off theme stickers or Zebra Herd Pokemon theme? Holly, you just want more Zebra Herd. Holly, you just want more zebras. I know your ulterior motives in this. I know what you want. I know that you are angling for more of those babies. You cannot hide from me. You're not sneaky. Yes, and I mean, listen. I want us to get more from those characters, like, in the actual comic before I dedicate too much more Mail Club time to them. No, yes you are. I can see right through you. I see right through you. Holly, am I misremembering, or are you the one that has the Zara tattoo? Is that you, or is that somebody else? I thought that was you, but I might be misremembering. I think you have an ulterior motive here, and it is not hard to see. It's like how you can say Beetlejuice's name 3 times to summon him. All I have to do is, like, hint at the name Zara or any of his friends, and Holly shows up in the chat. I see you. You're not sneaky. Yeah, that's you. See, I freaking knew it. You're not slick. I love the energy, but you are not slick. I know what you want. I know what you want. Don't be coy about it. You just want more zebras, and I appreciate that you're so gung-ho about characters that have barely been in the comic. Delightful energy. But I see you. You're not slick. To actually answer your question, it is something that I have considered. It's just you have to fight everybody else in the Patreon to get them to actually vote for those topics. So. Okay, but Zara's Pokemon team. You know, I think hang on. Does that document still exist? Do I still have this document? Maybe not. Maybe I do not have this document anymore. I, at some point, had a document on my Google Drive that had like teams for all of the cast, like Pokemon teams. And I thought I made one for Zera, but I guess I don't have that document anymore. It might be on my Evernote because I think I made it long enough ago that it was before I was really using Google Docs. I don't know if the login for my Evernote anymore. The one that I can remember being on Zera's team, what's the Pokemon's name that's a sword? Aegislash? The pre-evolution of Aegislash, the one that's 2 swords. That was like the main staple of Zera's team. Milo, get off of my computer! No, meow. Doublade, that's it. Yeah, that was like his main Pokemons that he used. He has a Doublade. Substrike. No. No. But yeah, so that was like Zera's. If he was a gym leader, that would be his ace. His ace Pokemon would be a Doublade. Star, are there lore reasons for that? Yes, absolutely. Yes, absolutely there are. Am I gonna tell you guys about them? Not yet. Later. Later I will tell you about this. After chapter 13. After chapter 13. It will no longer be a spoiler. But that's all you're gonna get for right now. I feel like Terran would have a Gigalith. Big rocky boy. Or like some equivalency of that, like some big rock Pokemon. He'd have some big buddy. But I feel like Terran would be the fighting type gym leader. He absolutely would be. He's a punchy boy. See, I want to say what Decidueye for Sonia, but that feels a little what's the word I'm looking for? That feels like too much of just like that feels too easy, I guess is a way I could say it. It feels cheap. My girlie deserves something more than that. Cause like, yeah, she's an archer. Give her the Pokemon that's also an archer. It feels too simple. I gotta put more thought into it, but I can't think of Pokemon right now. I'm focused. If Nico had a Pokemon, he'd have, what would he have? He'd have like one of those stereotypical healer Pokemon. Like, I don't know if he'd have a Chansey, but he'd have something similar to a Chansey. Because he's a doctor in training. He'd have like one of those little guys. Audino. Audino actually works really well. I think that might be the winner. Because like, I can't see him with a Chansey, but I could very much see him with an Audino. That one I can see. Mm-hmm. But yeah, so at some point, maybe I will sit down and design Pokemon teams for the rest of the cast. And honestly, just like more full teams for the main members. Because, you know, like when I did that Pokemon print, I gave each character like 1 or 2, you know, signature Pokemon. But I think it'd be fun to sit down and design like full teams for them if they were like actual trainers or gym leaders or something. Because that's definitely something I did for the main cast at some point, was like coming up with Pokemon teams for them. Zorua for Sonia? Maybe? Maybe? I don't know. I have to like go look at a list of Pokemon and like give it a thought. Give it a think, you know? Because yeah, like some of them are easy, but some of them require a bit more thought. I feel like Terran would also have some kind of... No. Frankie. Frankie would just have a team of all dog Pokemon if he was given the opportunity. He would just have a team of dogs. Because here's some like just... I've mentioned this before, but it's been a while. Frankie loves dogs. That's canonical. However, he can almost never pet dogs because if a dog licks him, he will have a bad time. I feel like the main cast, like the protagonist crew, would all be Pokemon trainers, and then the Zera squad would be gym leaders. Liam has major first gym leader vibes. And then the Queen and Briss would be like either... No, they wouldn't be gym leaders. They'd be like the evil team leaders for that region, for the region based on cast off. Sonia, I feel like, would be the psychic type gym leader. Terran would be the fighting type. Liam, maybe bug type. If he's gonna be the first gym leader, plus also, I think, like, you know, you can... There's a lot of runway you can use for, like, bug trainer who's trans and has, like, a team full of butterfly Pokemon because of the whole metamorphosis thing. I don't know. I don't know. He just have a random Sylveon though. Yeah, that is a good point. Liam is the early game bug type gym leader. See, I didn't read that chat message before I said that. Same brain. But yeah, what would Zera be? Oh, that was another Pokemon that Sarah had. I just remembered. I don't know if it's... I never figured out how to actually pronounce this Pokemon's name, but like Galade or Galade or however you say it, the fighty, punchy version of Gardevoir, like that branching thing. That is another Pokemon that Zera would have. Yes. It's Galade or Galade or whatever. Yes, we're saying it in the chat. But I don't know how to pronounce it. But he would have one of those. He would have a Doublade, and those are two entirely different types. Maybe he's in the Elite Four and he just has a weird team. Does that mean Ariana gets Gardevoir? I see Marina getting Gardevoir. Marina might have Gardevoir. Ariana, absolutely not. Ariana has a team of beefy Pokemon that fight. Ariana has, like, she's got a Houndoom. She's got... Oh god, I came up with some other ones for her. It's been so long, I can't really remember that clearly. That would make sense since he's supposed to be a captain for him to be in the Elite Four. Yeah, it makes sense, I think. Why does my freaking headset keep turning off? Hello, Milo. There is a baby kitten on my desk. Hi, baby. What are you doing? Hi. Milo, do you have anything to say to the people? Do you have anything to say to the people? You're meowing so quietly the people can't hear you. Do you want to be a content creator? Do you want to get clout by being on my stream? Is that what you want? Hi, baby. What you doing? Who is a baby? Who is a baby? She's baby. She's baby. Milo is confirmed for baby. We need a cat interview. Good luck. Good luck getting one. She is only talkative when a mic is not in her face, i.e. when I am sleeping and she has words to say. Right, Milo? Isn't that right, my love? I'm gonna pet that butt. Hi, baby. Hello. Hello, Miss Milo Meow. Miss Milo Meow. Meow, 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 meow. So would the Queen and Brisk be Team Rocket then? They are far too competent to be like a Jesse and James parallel. They'd be more like Giovanni and then also they'd be like if Giovanni was two of them. And they both sucked. That's what the Queen and Brisk would be. They'd be Giovanni times 2. Double bastards. Big asshole energy. God. I can't wait till they get more screen time, though. There's some shit going on with them that I'm real excited for us to get to in the comic. I'm excited to see more of them. They're terrible. They suck so bad. And I find them very compelling as villains. And you guys will see why! I'm excited! Milo! Milo is here! Hey, baby. What does that twitchy tail do? What does that tail do? Frankie and Rory give Jesse and James because they're silly. Yeah, kind of. I can see it. I see it. It's not what I would cast them as personally, but I can see it. Nico has green eyeballs. Wahi. Oh my goodness. Hi, Milo. That one might have been picked up by the mic. Hello, baby. What you doing? What are you doing? Milo has thoughts and opinions. And she's gonna tell me all of them. Professional meower. She really is. She loves to meow. It is her favorite thing to do is to scream. She yells and screams and meows. She's a meowy little baby. Little baby cat who screams. Little scream and meow. Aren't you, Milo? Aren't you a little bitty baby scream and meow? She said yes. Ignore the fact that you did not hear her say yes. She definitely said yes just there. Milo, are you a little baby professional scream and meow? Yes, you are. Yes, you are. She's a baby. She's un bebito. It's funny because I've been giving Kitty Cato nicknames that, because, you know, I was raised in Texas. I took Spanish in high school. I keep trying to, you know, I baby talk my cat in Spanish, but like gibberish bullshit, not correct Spanish. Because I call her little petite baby gatito. She's petite baby gatito. Petite gatito. But I know in Spanish you're supposed to put the adjectives after the noun. But it doesn't sound as fun if you do it like that. Gatito petito, I don't know, it doesn't hit the same. And she just, Milo, I need you to stop being a menace for like 10 more minutes and then I will be done streaming. She is baby petite gatito. Multilingual baby talk for little kitties. She's baby. And meanwhile, Molly is Miss Molly Meow. first of her name. Petit gatito. And I just love them so much. They're my baby girls. My baby kitties. If French is on the table, le petit bébé has a more pleasant word order. French is never on the table. I have an eternal beef with the French language. Eternally beefing with French as a concept. I don't have any opinions on French people, but the French language is overly silly and I have beef with it. The mere concept of the French language. Why is it like that? Why does it have? Why do the French think they can get away with having silent X's? Why do they think that's a thing they're allowed to do, huh? What? What is that? What are you doing? Don't be silly. Cease this at once. Right there. Okie dokie, gamers. So, with that, we are done with these boys, I think. So I am going to go ahead and call it a night because it is about time that I end stream and I'm eepy and I want to go eat dinner. But here, I will put them side by side and we can observe these boys together. One little last bit of happiness before I destroy them. Anyway, but yes, observe the boys. Observe the pre-traumatized boys. Nothing bad will ever happen to them. They will just be cute and adorable forever, and nothing bad will ever happen to them. But in the meantime, I'm gonna go ahead and call it there. I am eepy. But yes, thank you guys for hanging out with me. Next stream will be on Friday, but it will not be on my channel. It will be on our D&D channel. And in fact, here, let me actually set us up with a proper redirect, so that this will work. Is there a good way? How do I've never tried adding a redirect after the stream is already made. Here we go. Boom. There we go. Okay, so now the stream will redirect to our D&D channel so that you guys can go and watch that. That'll be on Friday. But yes, until then, thank you guys for hanging out. Thank you for joining our weekly draw stream. Next week will be more draws. But until then, thank you all for joining me. Goodbye.